Are we prepared to face the silent invasion that's destroying our homeland? I'm talking about 10 more of the most destructive invasive animals wreaking havoc across the United States. Have you seen the chaos they've unleashed? These creatures might seem harmless, but they're a direct threat to our environment, economy, and health. Somewhere, a government official is strategizing ways to exterminate these intruders. How much damage are we willing to tolerate before taking action? This isn't just about protecting our land. It's about survival. Are we ready to fight back? Here are 10 more of the most destructive invasive animals in the United States. The Burmese python, one of the largest snake species in the world, originates from Southeast Asia. These snakes were introduced to the United States through the exotic pet trade. When released into the wild by pet owners, they thrive in the Florida Everglades. Their immense size and strength allow them to prey on a wide range of animals, including endangered species. Without natural predators in the region, Burmese pythons disrupt the balance of the ecosystem, leading to significant declines in native wildlife populations. Efforts to control their numbers include organized hunts and trapping programs. These pythons have a major impact on the Everglades, preying on mammals, birds, and other reptiles, and causing cascading effects throughout the ecosystem. Control efforts involve public awareness, regulatory measures on pet ownership, and active removal programs to mitigate their impact. The Africanized honeybee, also known as the killer bee, is a hybrid of the African honeybee and various European honeybees. Introduced to Brazil in the 1950s, they spread northward and reached the United States by the 1990s. Africanized honeybees are notorious for their aggressive behavior and tendency to swarm. They pose a serious threat to people and animals, often attacking in large numbers when they feel their hive is threatened. This aggressive behavior makes them dangerous to humans and can lead to fatalities. Managing their populations involves public education and hive management to mitigate risks. These bees also impact agriculture by disrupting beekeeping practices and affecting pollination services. Efforts to control them include breeding programs for gentler bees, hive monitoring, and public awareness campaigns to reduce human-bee conflicts. Zebra mussels, small fingernail-sized mussels, native to Eastern Europe and Western Russia, were introduced to the Great Lakes in the 1980s through ballast water discharged from ships. Zebra mussels attach themselves to almost any surface, including boats, pipes, and water intake structures. Their rapid reproduction clogs water systems, damages infrastructure, and outcompetes native species for food and habitat. The economic impact of zebra mussels is immense, costing the United States billions of dollars in damage and control efforts. Strategies to manage their spread include chemical treatments and mechanical removal. These mussels filter large volumes of water, altering nutrient cycles and affecting aquatic ecosystems. Control efforts focus on preventing their spread through regulations on ballast water discharge, public education, and technologies to detect and remove mussels from infested waters. Kudzu, known as the vine that ate the South, was introduced from Asia in the late 1800s to control soil erosion. This fast-growing vine can grow up to a foot per day, covering trees, power lines, and buildings. Kudzu smothers native vegetation, blocking sunlight and depriving other plants of nutrients. This invasive plant has significantly altered ecosystems across the southeastern United States. Control measures include mechanical removal, herbicide application, and grazing by livestock. Kudzu's rapid growth and resilience make it difficult to manage, requiring ongoing efforts to keep it in check. Its impact on ecosystems includes loss of biodiversity and changes in forest structure. Efforts to control it involve community engagement, research on biological control methods, and restoration of native vegetation to outcompete kudzu. Asian carp, including silver, bighead black, and grass carp, were brought to the United States in the 1970s for use in aquaculture and wastewater treatment facilities. Flooding allowed these fish to escape into the Mississippi River system, where they have spread rapidly. Asian carp outcompete native fish for food and habitat, leading to declines in native fish populations. They are also known for their tendency to leap out of the water when startled, posing a risk to boaters. Control efforts include physical barriers, commercial fishing, and developing methods to prevent their spread to the Great Lakes. These carp disrupt food webs and degrade water quality, impacting recreational and commercial fisheries. Strategies to manage them focus on barriers to prevent their movement, promoting commercial harvest, and research on population control methods. The gypsy moth, native to Europe and Asia, was accidentally introduced to the United States in the late 1860s. Gypsy moth caterpillars feed on the leaves of over 500 different tree and shrub species, causing extensive defoliation. This defoliation weakens trees, making them more susceptible to disease and other pests. The economic impact on forestry and urban landscapes is significant, with millions of dollars spent annually on control measures. These measures include aerial spraying of insecticides, trapping, and biological control agents. Gypsy moths have cyclical outbreaks, leading to large-scale forest damage during peak periods. Efforts to control them focus on monitoring populations, using pheromone traps to disrupt mating, and promoting natural predators to reduce caterpillar numbers. The northern snakehead, a predatory fish native to Asia, was first discovered in the United States in Maryland in 2002. Known for its ability to survive out of water for short periods, the northern snakehead is a voracious predator that feeds on fish, crustaceans, and amphibians. Its introduction has disrupted local ecosystems by outcompeting native species and altering food webs. Control efforts focus on eradicating established populations through targeted fishing and chemical treatments. These fish can travel across land to new water bodies, spreading their impact. Strategies to manage them involve public reporting of sightings, regulations on their possession and transport, and active removal programs to prevent their establishment in new areas. The giant African snail, native to East Africa, was introduced to the United States through the pet trade and accidental importation. These snails can grow up to 8 inches in length and consume over 500 different types of plants. They also pose a health risk to humans by carrying parasites that can cause meningitis. The agricultural damage caused by giant African snails is substantial, leading to crop losses and increased pest control costs. Management strategies include quarantine, manual removal, and chemical treatments. These snails have a high reproductive rate, making them difficult to control once established. Efforts to manage them focus on public awareness, rapid response to new infestations, and research on effective control methods to reduce their impact on agriculture and human health. The Japanese beetle, native to Japan, was first discovered in the United States in 1916. These beetles feed on over 300 different plant species, including many crops and ornamental plants. Japanese beetles cause significant damage by skeletonizing leaves, flowers, and fruit. Their larvae, known as grubs, feed on the roots of grasses and other plants, damaging lawns and pastures. Control measures include trapping, chemical treatments, and biological control agents such as nematodes and predatory insects. Japanese beetles have widespread impacts on agriculture, horticulture, and turf management. Efforts to control them involve integrated pest management strategies, promoting natural predators, and community-based approaches to reduce their populations and minimize damage to crops and landscapes. The Argentine ant, native to South America, was introduced to the United States in the late 1800s. These ants form massive supercolonies, displacing native ant species and disrupting local ecosystems. Argentine ants are known for their aggressive foraging behavior, invading homes and buildings in search of food. They also protect and farm aphids, which can lead to increased agricultural pests. Control efforts focus on baiting and chemical treatments to reduce their populations and prevent their spread. Argentine ants have a significant impact on biodiversity, altering interactions among species and affecting ecological processes. Strategies to manage them involve research on their biology and behavior, developing effective bait formulations, and promoting practices to reduce their impact on natural and urban environments. The threat of invasive species is real and growing. Each of these animals poses unique challenges to our ecosystems, economy, and health. As we continue to face this silent invasion, it's crucial to support ongoing efforts in research, management, and public awareness to protect our homeland. Are we prepared to take action and defend our land? The battle against invasive species is far from over, and our survival depends on our commitment to this cause.